ഓം ദൈവമേ കാത്തുകൊൾക്കങ്ങു കൈവിടാതിങ്ങു ഞങ്ങളെ നാവികന്നീ ഭവാബ്ദിക്ക് പുരാവിവൻ തോണി നിൻപദം ഒന്നും നായി എണ്ണി എണ്ണി തൊട്ടെന്നും പൊരുളൊടുങ്ങിയ നിന്നിടും ദൃക്കു പോലുള്ളം നിന്നിൽ ആസ്പന്ദമാക്കണം അന്നവസ്ത്രാതി മുട്ടാതെ തന്നു രക്ഷിച്ചു ഞങ്ങളെ ധന്യരാക്കുന്ന നീയും നോ
관계 도전에 손에 따도 제방배제를 담배 전에 된제를 보담 달라 차선로.
So it's a great honor for me to be able to participate in this 80th anniversary of the proclamation of pilgrimage at the Sivagiri, which was started by the Guru Narayana Sri Narayana Ji. And so, who was a great messenger of God, and who was a great, who lived a very meaningful life to serve humanity.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to thank you for inviting me here.
Now I'm going to speak my broken English. The translate short is necessary. Translate local language or not necessary? Those people who understand English, raise hand. Oh, then most of you understand English then. So historically, since 7th century, 8th century, Buddhism reached Tibet. So since then, say, we become Chela of India. And particularly because the main person who introduced Buddhism in Tibet in 8th century, he was great top scholar of Nalanda institution. His name Shantarakshita. Great philosopher, a monk, Buddhist monk, and great philosopher, philosophy of Madhyamika. Then great logician. So since he introduced Buddha Dharma in Tibet in 8th century, so we believe, we consider we are student of Nalanda tradition. So, as a student of Nalanda, as a chela of India's gurus, so I feel great honor come here, participate in this meeting. Then we are in 21st century. A lot of development in the field of technology with help of science. Many human problems, disease, some of the problems, I think much reduced due to technology and science. However, if you look 20th century, many of these great achievement, technology and science, sometimes causing more destructions. So, usually I describe 20th century becoming century of violence, century of bloodshed. And during that century, even nuclear weapons actually used on human life. That was Nagasaki, Hiroshima. I personally visited there, very spot where nuclear bomb dropped. Terrible. So according historian, the 20th century, number of people who killed through violence, through war, through civil war, around 200 millions of people. So, immense suffering. Even during Cold War, lot of fear. So, technology also brought more fear, more destruction. Certainly, unhappy sorrows, the events, beginning of this 21st century, actually symptom of negligence or mistake in the 20th century. So now, we have to work, we have to make effort. This century, just the beginning of this century, 12 years passed. 98 years. 88 years yet to come. So there is opportunity if we make attempt. This century could be a century of peace. In order to create peaceful century, peace not come from sky or earth or even United Nations. Nice resolution will not bring peace. Peace must come through inner peace. So technology cannot produce inner peace. Maybe injection, perhaps few hours tranquility. I think so far, no medicine to reduce anger, to reduce hatred. Actually, anger, hatred, you see, develop on the basis of fear, distrust. So I don't think any injection, any medication to develop trust. Trust, one individual cannot develop. Trust between two persons or two group of people or two nations, like that. So trust entirely based on genuine, honest, transparent, truthful. So, how can develop truthful, honest, transparent? Anyone who have genuine sense of concern of others' well-being. entire humanity consider part of you. They also have every right to overcome suffering, to achieve happy life. So with that understanding and sort of concept oneness of entire humanity, sameness of humanity, oneself take sort of every sort of the effort, be happier, overcome suffering. So rest of 7 billion human beings also have same. So understanding that, respect others' right, take sense of concern of their well-being. That is compassion. So once we develop compassion, then honest, truthful, transparent will come. Too much self-centered attitude remain there, hypocrisy, pretension, and then eventually bully other, exploit other, cheating other come. Once we develop sense of concern of their well-being, others' well-being, then it's the very ground of distrust, suspicion, go away. So therefore, in order to achieve genuine, peaceful world, the foundation is individual's heart, more compassionate mind. Then there is real sort of possibility to achieve peaceful world. Now here, I always is trying to sort of share with audience inner peace, compassionate mind, not necessarily, in order to become compassionate person, not necessarily accept religious faith. In this country, India, Bharat, I think last over 3,000 years, one concept of secular ethics. That means not only respect all different religions, but also respect a non-believer. So that's the meaning of India's 1,000-old tradition of secularism. So in the modern time, India's constitution also, you see, based on secularism. So therefore, number one, as a human being, we can pursue, we can teach people, irrespective of whether believer or non-believer, teach them ultimate source of peace is here. Ultimate source of individual health is here. Ultimate source of happy family here. That we can teach people, we can educate people through education. So as the Guruji mentioned, sort of one religion of world. Yes, I usually call compassion is a universal religion. We equipped from birth because of this biological factor. You see, we survived with our parents, particularly our mother's affection. Even many birds, their youngsters or survival entirely depend on others' affection, others' care. That's a biological factor, not religious faith. So we are a social animal. The way we're born, the way we've grown, without affection, we cannot be here. Because mother's tremendous sort of care, tremendous affection, we survived and grown properly. So that is basis of secular ethics. And then now modern scientists, particularly medical scientists, they clearly now, they found healthy mind is key factor for healthy body. So therefore, now some well-known, respected scientists, they pay more attention about our emotions, about our mind. So some scientists already, some institution, mainly in America, already carrying some sort of program, the experiment program, give some sort of certain sort of short period about, the mindfulness, about, the value of compassion. Then after a few weeks, they again, check. The blood pressure reduce. Their stress much reduced. Their relation with their sort of, their group becoming much, much healthier. As a result, individual become much happier. So that is secular ethics. That also 1,000-year-old India's tradition. Then another, that is actually the basis of ahimsa, basis of non-violence. If you too much stress me, then the feeling of don't care about others' sort of well-being. That is the basis of violence. Don't care their life. Don't care their sort of pain, kill, bully, cheating. So therefore, cheating, bully, and also nowadays in this country, unfortunately, many countries also, and including India, corruptions, also form of violence. Without your right, through some, the mischievous way, gain more money. That's a corruption. That also form of violence. So, India, 1,000-year-old ahimsa concept, wonderful concept. So that entirely based on sense of concern of others' well-being. Selfish thinking, non-violence is hypocrisy. Or you manipulate that. So the altruistic attitude is the key factor of non-violence. Now India, 1,000 years, even today, kept that. Then second, religious harmony. Now look here. Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Jains, and also, the major teaching of the world here. Buddhism, Jainism, different sort of Hinduism, and later Sikhism, these are homegrown religion. Then outside, Zoroastrianism from ancient Iran. Then Christianity, or Judaism. A lot of Jews in Cochin area, isn't it? Once I have been there. Yeah. And Parsi, very small community in Bombay mainly. No fear, very happy. Handful sort of people, population. And recently I met one Romanian who developed interest about India's religious harmony. So he carries some sort of research work. He told me in the Rajasthan, one area, the Muslim village. Village means, I think, a few thousand population. In such village, only 3 Hindu families, no fear. So that's India. Of course, occasionally some sort of news here and there, some sort of violence due to religious sort of, because of the differences. But that's understandable. About 1 billion human population, some mischievous people always happen. So this is understandable. Among the Buddhists also, some mischievous people there. Among the Hindus, among the Christians, among the Jews, among the Muslims, every sort of religious follower, there are some mischievous people always there. That's understandable. But overall, India is truly, I think, home of whole world major religion live together on the basis of mutual respect, mutual understanding. So these two things, I feel, India's tradition, that also is not some ancient tradition, but also today's world, very much relevant. Now I'm, as a chela of India, Indian Guru, I'm very happy. In 21st century, still you keep these 1,000-year-old tradition. Ahimsa, respect all different religions. So that's wonderful. I'm extremely happy now coming here and sit together. I'll say different believers, right? Believer of different religious tradition. Wonderful. So this in India always has happened that. That's very, very important. Then as your the previous Guruji, I think now you must sort of carry work for public, for poorer section of people. It is not sufficient just to remain in your own temple and carry some puja and recite some Sanskrit shlokas. It's not sufficient. Must meet with people and educate them the inner value, the basis of inner peace. That I think very, very important. So I often say, Hindu Haridwar, and also or Rishikesh is a few occasions meeting with many sort of Gurujis of different mainly Hinduism. I often telling them, you carry the 1,000-year-old India's tradition. Now, this tradition must be direct relevant to today's world. That's important. Just to carry some puja and some recitation in temple is not sufficient. We must be active. Like Christian brothers, sisters, they really, serving education field and health field. That's wonderful. In India, Ramakrishnan Mission also now carrying this education program in the public. These things I think are very, very important. Not only modern education subject, but also 1,000-year-old India's own value. So that I think very, very important. So I just want to share with you. And then nothing else. Too hot, too humidity. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.